Hello, my fellow speakers. This is Brian, the speaker for the dead, coming to you this evening. I'm going to do a short video tonight just to kind of give everybody a heads up. Um, I've been hearing a lot on YouTube of late how YouTubers are being stifled and they're having their videos messed with and they're having their channels messed with and their subscribers are unsubscribed, without the subscribers actually wanting to unsubscribe. And for the longest time, I've been thinking that this was just somebody's imagination and that YouTube wouldn't really be doing something like that. Or, if they were, it couldn't be as bad as everybody was making out. Well, I just experienced it for myself this last week. And it started because I did some climate change videos that were not favorable towards the theory of climate change. And because of this, my last video that I had posted, now normally, and I'm no massive YouTuber, but my channel seems to get moderately consistent results. Not super powerful results, but something I've come to kind of expect and stuff. And I have some pretty loyal people who watch my videos and comment on them, and I appreciate that. So I had posted one of my last videos, which I'm going to be redoing because the sound quality ended up being not really what I wanted for it. So I'm going to redo it to just to make sure it was better. When I uploaded it to YouTube, it actually suffered somewhere in that process, and the audio was really bad. But what was more interesting was the fact that in 16 hours, I usually get anywhere from 10 to 15 views, usually about like one per hour. So, not some massive, I'm no PewDiePie or, anybody like that get millions of views and stuff. But I do okay for how short of time I've actually been on YouTube. Well, in that time, the only view that I got on that last video after the climate change videos was one. And it was my own, because I always go back to watch the videos again to make sure that something didn't go wrong in the process of being transferred over. And and this one had some issues in that regard, but there was no other views. It was like my video was not being put out to anybody as having been out there. Now maybe I've overextended and I've wore people out with too many videos. I don't know. But usually I get more than that, just on an average video. I mean, even my worst videos do around 15 or so, at the minimum. I have about 29 subscribers, for which I'm very grateful. But I don't think anybody was being notified that my video was out. And maybe it was just a slow day and people were busy doing other things. I don't know. But it was very interesting that it happened right after I did those climate change videos, because YouTube has been very unfavorable of late to conservative or people of a center-leaning mode. They've been seeming to block them and demonetize them and cut back their feed, and they're pushing a lot of their big commercial channels and stuff like that are like news sources and like businesses, in lieu of like actual independent contract or independent creators. So I hadn't experienced that. But the other thing that was very interesting that led me to believe that this was not a fluke, just some weird thing that happened, was actually in my climate change video on Greta Thunberg and the stuff that's been going on recently, the craziness. Under my video, like right, like there we go, right there, right under my video. There was a title bar along the bottom that I'd never seen there before. Usually I've seen something like maybe for an ad or something, but it was for the Wikipedia page for climate change or global warming. So it was like YouTube or someone within YouTube was actually specifically targeting my video or any videos mentioning climate change or global warming or whatever. It was like having somebody try and contradict me in print right under what I was saying for my video. And I was pretty fair about global warming and climate change. I was actually for some of the clean energy sources, or a better, reality and stuff. I'm not buying into this hysteria of global climate change because I don't believe it's true. I think it's just a means to control people, to get more government intervention, more regulation, more taxation, more control of our lives. And that's what I said in the video. And, I don't believe that's the right way to, if there is global warming, that's the wrong way to combat it. That's just transferring power and rights and money to the governments of the world. Like we want any more of that. And so that was my point of the whole video. But I was actually fairly fair, I thought, towards the theory that we need to be cleaner, we need to do things better, but we need to do it for the right reasons, not for some political motivation. I mean, we actually need to be conservationists and try and protect the earth. And it's amazing that they put that crawl underneath my video from Wikipedia so that people who didn't know what I was talking about could go and get the real truth instead of Brian's version of the truth, which, like I said, I was fairly fair about it. I told people to think for themselves and go out and find out what's real and what's not. Because I think you should do that on any subject. Go out and find the scientists that disagree with you. If you're a global climate person, then that's fine. But are you listening to every side, or are you just buying into what fits your narrative? That's dangerous for anybody. I don't tell anybody to believe me just because I said so, because I'm not a super expert on anything. I just know what I believe and what I've seen and the things that I've learned, and that's what I can tell you about. But I just found it very interesting and wanted to let you guys know, if you saw that I posted a video and then retracted it, well, that's what happened. Nobody was watching it, and the sound quality was bad, so I ended up pulling it anyway. But just be aware that YouTube and other big corporate social media sites are actually doing this stuff. And that was the first time I'd experienced it. To have them, willing or purposely interfere with one of my videos by putting a counter argument at the bottom of my video to basically suggest that I was lying about it. And go to Wikipedia, which, that's the ultimate source for knowledge, other than it can be changed and altered and messed with anytime anybody wants. I mean, I don't know. It was a sad deal, and I wanted people to be aware that this is actually happening. Make sure that you're checking your subscriptions to make sure that you are still subscribed to the people you want to hear, because if they're not liberal, lefty, like socialist communists, they're being demonetized and they're being pushed out of the public discourse. And I think that's a terrible thing to do. I think more speech is always better. Always better than less. Because, if somebody's a white nationalist, I'd rather know it right up front. I'd rather, get that straight from their own mouth, and be able to condemn them for their own words and what they're saying and things that they're doing and stuff. So even white nationalists, I don't want to suppress anybody's speech, or have anybody's speech messed with, because that's not a good thing. Anytime that it's freedom of speech can be censored, and I did a video on this called The Death of Freedom of Speech, that I thought was really good. I went back and found some really cool speeches and some different things to kind of prove my point. And, this isn't an advertisement for that. I'm just saying, be aware that this stuff is real. And it's affecting small channels, even as small as mine. I have 29 subscribers, and they still felt the need to try and stop anybody from seeing or believing anything I'm saying, because it doesn't fit with the people who are in charge at YouTube. So anyway, I appreciate YouTube and the format they give us to come out and speak, but if they're going to start messing with their own creators, why would anybody want to stay watching this? I'm seriously considering starting a BitChute channel and looking into other options. They're not as well known and stuff, but Dave Cullen has been talking about this for a while, and he's already done it. And I'm thinking maybe that's what I need to do, because they don't censor speech over on BitChute. They don't censor speech on some of these other platforms, and that's where people are going to start migrating to, and that's where people are going to start going to get the truth. Because anytime you start stifling people's freedom of speech will find a way. It will find a way. And you can't stop people from speaking. You might just be able to stop people from speaking on the internet, but you cannot stop them from speaking to each other. And sooner or later, all this divisiveness that the politicians and these big corporations are pushing, it's going to get toppled by the very people that they tried to suppress. You cannot suppress the human spirit. You can control it for a little while. There's a line, I think, in Harry Potter that I like. That I think it was Dumbledore that says it, that dictators and monarchies and stuff, they always create their own downfall. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching my channel and all the support. I really do appreciate it. Get out there and support the other YouTubers who are speaking up and who aren't just towing the line. We need more voices like that. Doesn't mean everything they say is true or everything they say is right. I don't tell you to believe them any more than I tell you to just take my word for it either. Get out there and find out for yourself. But listen to the dissenting voices in any movement, because a lot of times they'll tell you where the problems are and where the cracks lie in the foundation. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a great night. It is night here where I'm at, so enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for watching. Hit like, share, and subscribe. I know everybody says that all the time, and it's just to remind you how important it is to all of us who are speaking out that we need that support, that we need you to be there for us, because if you're not fighting against this stuff, then you're part of the problem. You actually are the silent majority that allows this stuff to happen, and before long, you'll find that it's not just other people's speech that's being censored. It'll be yours too. So anyway, happy thought. Yeah, but life is a battle. Life is what you make it. So we need to make it great, and we can only do that when we have the free exchange of ideas in an open format. So thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.